Assalamualaikum. My name is Normazaitul Hasninda binti Rosli. I am student of Madam Sarima and taking Effective Oral Communication Skill ULAB 3152. Now, I am doing my reading and record assignment. This is my title. A World Without Books. To imagine a world without books is to imagine a world without God. August 27, 2010 by Miguel Jogo. The novelist Kong Toybin once recounted a story about observing a Cantonese man sitting on a Kowloon footpath reading a book. The man's face was stern with concentration, his finger tracing the line being read. At times, the man's expression would screw up in frustration at his progress. Finally, the reader looked up at the sky, his face beaming, whether from a sudden joyous facility with the act of reading, or revelation from what was written, or delight at how the story resolved, it doesn't matter. What mattered is he was in possession of something deliciously private, a connection between him and the writer, between the real world and that world inscribed upon the pages. What would the world be like without books? But a crazy and absurd idea. Since like that man reading really the notion that modern advances pose the threat to reading as we know it. There is always thought that the latest technology signals the demise of the book. Decades ago, radio was what would do it. Then came TV, and now internet. The machines changed, but the act has stayed the same. The between covers. There is something reassuring about such simplicity, especially when it lets us delve into the complexities of life. Literature is the story of ourselves, the record of who we are, where we came from, and where we're going. When fiction illuminates the world for us and fiction explains what non-fiction cannot. Through books, we first travel. In those wanderings, we become best acquainted with humanity through the characters we come to know more intimately than anyone else, whether we love, loathe, fear, or fawn over them. The narrator in Khalil Gibran's The Prophet helps me comprehend my faults and aspirations. Holden Caulfield and Harry Potter make me feel less alone. King Lear, Hannibal Lecter, and Boromir are cautionary tales for who we could become if we're not careful. Reading is our deepest connection to what makes us human and part of a larger society. In that, books are comfort. When I was a boy with thick glasses and braces on my buck teeth, books were my safe haven. Generations have likewise found solace in the written word, safety in feeling less alone amongst the crowds. Are we not lies, after all, when surrounded by others? But books are bomb shelters. Their bridges through their pages will bout out into society, and one can posit that someone who reads is prepared for the world on a deeper level than someone who doesn't. Tough reading a book connects one with humanity. It is also the last truly private act in a world that's become too public. As nourishment for the mind is slow food in a world given over to fast food. Blogs, text messages, e-books, and the like bring topicality, portability, instant gratification, much as newspapers and magazines do. However important such forms are, they endure only as long as the stuff they're printed on. The comforts of books, they defy time, breaks borders, and repudiate mortality. And there are the unquantifiable pleasures that books alone offer. The scent, the sound, the tactile sensation of what is cerebral, silent, disembodied task. The sharing of a volume by lending it to a friend. The adventure of leaving a book to be found by a stranger who will in turn take in that private journey before passing it on again. the grandeur of a civilization evidenced through its libraries. It is important that we work to give every person that opportunity to enjoy books as shelters, sustenance, and words forward. Literacy and library programs are important goals for developed and developing nations alike. To imagine a world without book is to imagine a world without thought, a world without feeling, compassion, history, or voice. Miguel Chico from the Philippines is the author of the best-selling, multi-awarded debut novel Illustrado. Thank you.